Crikey, what a beauty! When you think of a big snake, you're probably thinking of a python. For hundreds, even thousands of years, these magnificent creatures have shared the land with people, especially in rural places, out in the bush or near the jungle. Encounters with pythons are just a part of life. They've been around for a very, very long time, long before we started building big cities. These snakes are true survivors, perfectly adapted to their world. They've been slithering through stories and legends, passed down from generation to generation, a real testament to their power and mystery. People have always had a mix of fear and respect for them, and you can see why. In many villages and farming communities, seeing a python is not a surprise. It's part of the daily rhythm of life. Farmers know that where there are chickens, goats, or other small animals, a hungry python might not be far behind. It's a story as old as time itself. The snake is just looking for a feed, and a farm is like a big open restaurant. These old stories aren't just scary tales. They are lessons about the wild world that exists right on our doorstep. They teach you to be aware, to watch your step, and to understand that we are not the only ones living here. The relationship has always been a tricky one, a real balancing act. On one hand, people have always been a little bit scared of these big fellas. A giant snake can be an intimidating sight, no doubt about it. But on the other hand, there's a deep-seated respect. People knew the pythons were just doing what nature intended for them to do: hunt, eat, and survive. They are a vital part of the ecosystem, keeping rodent populations in check and maintaining the natural order. It's this incredible dance between fear and admiration that has defined our shared history with these amazing reptiles for so long. This long history has shaped how we see them today. It's not just a simple case of good versus bad. It's a complex story of two different worlds colliding. The world of humans, with our farms and our homes, and the world of the python, driven by ancient instincts. Understanding this long, shared past is the first step to figuring out how we can live together in the future. It's about looking back at all those years of stories and encounters and learning from them. Every single encounter is a chapter in this long, ongoing book of life on our beautiful planet. So, why does a big, beautiful python end up in a chicken coop? It's simple, mate. It's looking for a feed. Pythons are ambush predators, which means they are masters of patience. They can stay perfectly still for hours, even days, waiting for the right moment to strike. A farm with chickens, ducks, or even small goats is like a five-star buffet for a hungry python. The snake isn't being mean or evil. It's just following its natural instincts to find an easy meal. It smells the animals. It senses their warmth and movement. And it knows that a delicious dinner is just waiting for it inside. These snakes are incredibly good at what they do. They are built for stealth. With their camouflage patterns, they can blend into their surroundings looking like a pile of leaves or a fallen log. They can squeeze their long, muscular bodies through surprisingly small gaps in fences or walls. Once inside a hen house, a python is in paradise. It's warm, it's safe from other predators, and it's full of food that can't run very far. It's the perfect hunting ground. The snake doesn't see it as your property, it just sees a fantastic opportunity that nature has provided. The power of a python is truly something to behold. They don't have venom like some other snakes. Instead, they are constrictors. When they catch their prey, they wrap their powerful bodies around it and squeeze. Every time the animal breathes out, the python squeezes a little tighter. It's an incredibly effective and efficient way to hunt. It takes a massive amount of energy, which is why a big feed like a chicken or a goat can last a python for weeks or even months. After a big meal, they need a safe, quiet place to digest, which is often why they stay put. This is exactly what might lead to a standoff. Imagine this. A python slithers into a chicken coop at night and grabs itself a chicken. It has a big, lumpy belly, and now it's too big to slither back out the way it came in. It's also slow and vulnerable while it digests, so it finds a quiet corner to hide and wait. The farmer wakes up, finds a chicken missing, and discovers this massive, sleepy snake taking a nap. The snake is stuck, the farmer is worried, and that's where the long, tense wait begins. It's a classic wildlife situation, a real nail-biter. In the old days, finding a python on your property was a very different story. People were often scared, and they didn't have a lot of options. Their main goal was to protect their family and their animals. So the usual response was to try and get rid of the snake, and often that meant killing it. It was a harsh solution, but for many it seemed like the only way to deal with what they saw as a dangerous threat. They didn't have wildlife rescue hotlines to call. It was just them and the snake, and they had to make a tough choice based on survival. They used whatever they had available. People would gather with sticks, machetes, or other tools. It was a dangerous business for both the people and the snake. A scared, cornered python can be a powerful and defensive animal. It might strike out to protect itself, and that could lead to serious injuries. It was a cycle of fear. The people were afraid of the snake, and their aggressive actions made the snake afraid of them. This approach, born out of a lack of understanding, sadly led to the loss of many of these magnificent animals over the years. But crikey, have things changed for the better? Today, there's a whole new way of thinking. We understand that these snakes are not monsters. They are a protected and important part of our environment. Instead of reaching for a weapon, people are now more likely to reach for their phones. They can call dedicated wildlife rescue teams, groups of trained professionals who know exactly how to handle these situations. These heroes are equipped with the right tools and, more importantly, the right knowledge to deal with a big snake safely and humanely. These rescue teams are absolute legends. They arrive on the scene and their first job is to calm everyone down, including the snake. They assess the situation, figure out the best way to catch the python without hurting it, and then they get to work. They use special hooks, tongs, and secure bags to safely contain the animal. It's all about respect. They treat the snake not as a pest, but as a wild creature that has simply lost its way. This change in attitude is a massive win for conservation and for the safety of both humans and wildlife. Now let's get back to our python in the chicken coop. This standoff lasted for 72 long hours. That's 3 whole days and nights. The python, with a full belly, was hiding in a dark corner, too big and too sleepy to move. The farmer, instead of panicking, made the brilliant choice to call for help. The rescue team arrived, but they saw that the snake was wedged in a tight spot. Trying to pull it out by force could injure the beautiful creature. So they decided to play the waiting game. It was a battle of patience, a true test of wills between man and reptile. The tension was thick. Every rustle from the coop made everyone jump. Was the snake moving? Was it trying to escape? The rescue team set up a watch, keeping an eye on the situation around the clock. They reassured the farmer and the community, explaining that the best and safest thing to do was to let the snake be. They knew the python just needed time to digest its meal. Once it felt a bit lighter and more energetic, it would likely try to move on its own, making it much easier and safer to capture. This wasn't about fighting the snake. It was about understanding its biology. This 72-hour wait teaches us a massive lesson. It shows that coexistence isn't always easy. Sometimes it requires incredible patience. It's about taking a step back and not reacting with immediate fear or aggression. It's about giving nature the space it needs. In our fast-paced world, we want instant solutions, but the natural world works on its own timeline. The standoff in that chicken coop was a powerful reminder that sometimes the smartest and bravest thing you can do is simply to wait, watch, and learn. It's a real switch from the old way of thinking. In the end, that's what it's all about. These encounters, whether it's a 72-hour standoff or a quick glimpse of a snake crossing a path, are opportunities. They are chances for us to learn about the incredible animals we share this planet with. By choosing rescue and respect over fear and force, we are building a better future. We are learning to live alongside wildlife, not in conflict with it. That big python in the henhouse wasn't a monster, it was a teacher, and the lesson was one of patience, understanding, and the beautiful, complicated dance of coexistence. What a beauty!